may not accommodate all of the people we have in Kampala. But in any modern society, or where you have regulation, even Kampala alone, if all Ugandans decided that we don't want to stay in our villages, we want to come to Kampala.
Welcome back from Kampala City, and from Kampala City, we go back to Chiruhara district, where 8 people died yesterday in an accident. 8 people are reportedly dead and another seriously hurt after a Toyota Hiace car they are traveling in collided with a trailer at Chivega 1 village along Mbarara-Lyantonde Highway. Police say the injured was rushed to Mbarara Regional Referral Hospital for treatment. The deceased and the injured, who are yet to be identified, were all occupants of the Toyota Hiace, according to police. We have the stories making the news up.
Friday 13th, 2026, tragedy struck along one of Western Uganda's busiest highways at approximately 6:30 p.m. What began as an ordinary journey for passengers traveling between Mbarara and Lyantonde ended in devastation. 8 people lost their lives in a fatal road crash at Chivega 1 village after Sanga along the Mbarara-Lyantonde highway in Chiruhura district. According to a police statement issued by Ruizi Regional Police spokesperson Samson Kasasela, the accident involved 2 vehicles, a white Toyota Hiace taxi registration number UBQ016U and a Mercedes-Benz Actros trailer registration number KDQ68L/ZH5133. The Toyota Hiace was traveling from Mbarara towards Lyantonde while the trailer was heading in the opposite direction. Preliminary police investigations indicate that the driver of the Toyota Hiace attempted to overtake at a corner, a highly risky maneuver, and collided head-on with the oncoming trailer, which was in its proper lane. The impact was devastating. 8 people died on the spot, all occupants of the Toyota Hiace. 1 survivor, only identified as Sam, was rushed to Mbarara Regional Referral Hospital in critical condition. By late evening, rescue teams were still working at the crash scene. 4 bodies remained trapped in the mangled wreckage of the taxi as efforts continued to retrieve them. Police confirmed that identification of the deceased was still ongoing. Among those confirmed dead, however, was Julius Kitone, a journalist with Next Media. His death has set shockwaves through the media fraternity and beyond. Colleagues describe him as dedicated and passionate about storytelling, a voice that once informed the nation, now silenced in a tragic twist of fate. Safari Mujenyi, the chairperson at Sanga Town Council, was among the first leaders to receive reports from the scene. He said, early responders managed to retrieve 4 bodies, while 4 others were still trapped at the time. He noted that the driver of the Toyota Hiace appeared to have lost control before ramming into the oncoming truck, and attributed that crash to possible overspeeding by both drivers. Another eyewitness, Moses Sinkabaji, a resident of the same area, described the stretch of road as increasingly dangerous. He revealed that this was the second serious accident at the same location within just 2 weeks. According to him, many drivers accelerate after passing the humps in Sanga Town, unaware or perhaps ignoring the risks along the winding stretch.
That has been our reporter in Chiruhura district, and we welcome him for that great news. As we continue with more news that are making headlines, police in Chankwanzi district are investigating the brutal killing of a married couple in Ntunda Town Council after unknown assailants raided their home in the early hours of Friday morning. According to regional police spokesperson for Wamala region, SSP Lameka Chigozi, the district police commander, received a distress call from a resident of Chizungu cell reporting that his neighbors had been attacked and killed. A team of officers, including a scene of a crime expert, was immediately dispatched to the area. We continue with more news as we go ahead. Police at Mbare police station in Nsingiro, this reporting about the safety of by a police at Mbare police station in Isingro district have two suspects in custody in conjunction with the safety of agricultural produce. Matoke from the farm of Aruhangari Abia, a residence of Chabahezi Bahinji Cell, Chabahezi Parish, Mbare Sub-County, Isingro District. The suspects have been identified as Ruhangiro Samuel Innocent and Kamukama Alex Alice Kadogo are the accused of stealing 6 bunches of matoke. As we continue with more news, 4 shot died in Fort Potro. Fort Potro, Uganda, 4 people were confirmed died last evening following a tragic shooting incident in the tourism city after a security guard allegedly turned his gun on his employer over unpaid salary. According to preliminary information, the guard had reportedly gone 8 months without pay and had been demanding his wages. In the confrontation that followed, he said to have shot and killed his boss and the company secretary. 2 other unidentified individuals were also fatally shot during the incident. As we continue with more news, 2 killed as a security guard opens fire inside Fort Potro. We continue with our more news that makes the end of the local news. Dear listeners, with this news makes the local news that we've been listening, and we go for a commercial break. Return with the international and sports news. Welcome back from the commercial break, and here we continue with our news. We head direct to international news. In international news, planned US-funded baby vaccine trial in Guinea-Bissau blasted by World Health Organization. And now a halted plan to run hepatitis B vaccine trial involving thousands of newborns in Guinea-Bissau has been criticized by the World Health Organization as unethical. The US-funded study had thought to give one set of babies the vaccine at birth, while another would have the shot delayed until 6 weeks of age. We have the stories making the details.
Halted plan to run a hepatitis B vaccine trial involving thousands of newborns in Guinea-Bissau has been criticized by the World Health Organization as unethical. The US-funded study had sought to give one set of babies the vaccine at birth, while another would have had the shot delayed until 6 weeks of age. The WHO said it had significant concerns about the plan, and described the birth dose vaccine as an effective and essential public health intervention, with a proven record. The U.S. Health Department, headed by Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who has questioned the effects of vaccines, had sought to use the trial to answer questions about the jab's broader health effects. The WHO said on Friday that its concerns regarded the study's scientific justification, ethical safeguards and consistency with established standards for research involving humans. It stressed that the jab had been used for more than 3 decades in more than 115 countries. The WHO said giving a proven lifestyle. Subscribe to Neuron News Global and stay informed. See you in the next broadcast.
That is from Guinea-Bissau, and from Guinea-Bissau we return to South Africa, where it has South African President Cyril Ramaphosa said he will deploy the army to help the police fight crime gangs and illegal mining in the country. Gang violence is a major problem in South Africa, which has one of the world's highest murder rates. We have the details on this story.
Targeting gang violence and illegal mining networks.
Organized crime is now the most immediate threat to our democracy, our society and our economic development. Now, to strengthen our fight against gang violence, I will be deploying the South African National Defence Force to support the police.
Speaking during his State of the Nation address, Ramaphosa confirmed troops will first be deployed in the Western Cape and Gauteng. Both provinces have been hit hard by gang activity and illicit mining operations. Now, Ramaphosa also announced the recruitment of 5,500 new police officers. Authorities say intelligence-led operations and coordinated enforcement will focus on criminal syndicates operating across provinces.
We cannot fight organized criminals by treading softly. We must act with zero tolerance and bring the full force of the law to bear. And I'd like this message to be clear: there will be no impunity for acts of criminality and corruption.
As we return from South Africa, we head direct to South Sudan City, where it had 6,000 killed in 3 days. More than 6,000 people were killed in just 3 days when Sudanese paramilitary Rapid Support Forces (RSF) seized the city of Al Fashar last year, according to victims and witnesses cited in the UN report. It was like a scene out of a horror movie. We have the stories making the detail.
Thousands of civilians have been killed in just 3 days as intense fighting and targeted attacks devastated entire neighborhoods. According to United Nations officials and humanitarian sources, armed groups linked to the Rapid Support Forces launched large-scale assaults on residential areas, refugee camps, and local markets. Witnesses describe streets filled with burned homes, bodies left without burial, and families fleeing with nothing but the clothes they were wearing. Communication lines have been cut in many parts of the city, making it difficult to calculate the full scale of the destruction. But early estimates suggest that the death toll has crossed several thousand. Hospitals that were already struggling with shortages of medicine and electricity are now completely overwhelmed. Doctors are treating the wounded without anesthesia, and in some locations, even clean water is no longer available. Aid agencies say children separated from their parents are arriving at temporary shelters in shock, many of them unable to speak after what they have seen. El Fasher had been the last major urban center in Darfur not fully under paramilitary control, and its fall could change the balance of power in the region. For months, the city had been surrounded, with food supplies blocked and humanitarian convoys repeatedly attacked. The recent violence appears to be the most intense phase of that siege.
Welcome back from Sudan, and here we go direct to Russia, where Russia killed opposition leader Alexei Navalny using dart frog toxin. UK says Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny was killed using a poison developed from a dart frog toxin. The UK and the European allies have said 2 years on from the death of Navalny at a Siberian penal colony, Britain and its allies have blamed the Kremlin following analysis of material samples found on his body. We have the details on this story.
Presidential building. He's a deputy chief of military intelligence who helped stop a mutiny in 2023 led by the late leader of the Wagner mercenary group, Yevgeny Prigozhin. Police are searching for suspects in the attack. Let's speak now to Yulia Shapovalova, who joins us live from Moscow. Yulia, what more do we know about the condition of the general at this point?
Well, at the moment, we're waiting for reports which will tell us and shed some light on his current condition. But as you said, an unknown person fired several shots at this high-ranking military official at a building in northwest Moscow, at Volokolamskaya Highway to be precise. So basically, he survived and was immediately hospitalized. The shooter is now being chased. He's still at large. Vladimir Alexeyev is indeed a very high-ranking military officer, the first deputy chief of the main intelligence directorate of the General Staff of the Russian Army, and among other things, he is known for urging Yevgeny Prigozhin's mercenary Wagner group not to start a civil war. It happened back in June 2023.
With that we welcome back our reporter from Russia, and with this story makes the end of the international news, and we just get in for sports news. Dear listeners, welcome back from the commercial break, and here we take you into sports. We begin with the local sports, where Express hold Entebbe to barren stalemate. Express put up a resilient performance to earn a point of Entebbe UPPC as the two teams faced off on Saturday at Hams Stadium, Nachibo. After losing several players in the ongoing transfer window, Express has been busy trying to resemble a new team. Richard Basangwa, Abdulhai Rahidi Kawawa, Muhammad Kagwa Segona, and Hakim Wandera all left joint neck. However, on the pitch today, the depletion didn't show, with Red Eagles looking good, matching puff for the entry of the game. As we continue with the local sports news, FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup qualifiers, Uganda injects Zambia to reach final qualification round. The Queen Cranes secured a 1-0 win in the return leg played at Levi Mwanawaswa Stadium to advance to the next round. Mary Cantono scored the lone goal in the 7th minute, and this turned out to be a decisive moment of the game. With more news that are continuing in the local sports news, KCC coach Senyondo vows to turn things around after NEC defeat. KCC head coach Brian Senyondo was left disappointed following a 3-1 defeat to NEC in Logogo on Friday, and says this should stop. Richard Basangwa netted a brace with Joseph Seremba scoring in between, turning Ivan Ambisiwe equalizer into a mirror consolation. With still continue with more in the sports news, Express FC versus Entebbe UPPC. New Look Express aims to start second round stronger. Following departures of several key players, New Look Express host Entebbe UPPC at Hams Stadium, and she was seeking to start the second round on the winning note. As we head to continue to end the news for sports, URFC coach Mbalangu confident of ending winless streak against SC Villa. After going 7 league matches without victory, Hussein Mbalangu wants his URS side to show fight end the unwanted record when the host SC Villa at Nachibo on Saturday. We are going to start winning from Saturday against SC Villa. The players have the Mbalungu DNA and we are going to win. Hussein Mbalangu, URFC head, said so. We end with NAM players in NBL respond against UCU Cannons. After losing to City Oilers in the opening game, NAM Blazers responded with a 70-58 victory against UCU Cannons in the NBL encounter at Lugogo Indoor Arena on Friday. Right from the word go, the Blazers showed that they were hungry and badly needed to march away with the bragging rights. With this, we go to the teams that are leading with the table. How the table is standing, we have Vipers in the first position with matches 15 played. It has 11 wins, 4 draws and 0 losses. We're having 39 points. In the second position, we have Chitara having matches 15 played, 10 wins, 2 draws and 3 losses, 32 points. In the third position, we have Villa. They are having 16 matches played, 9 wins and 4 draws, having 3 match lose and having 31 points. With this, we go to international sports news. In international sports news, we have Eddie Huye says referees are too reliant on VAR after making lots of errors in a Newcastle win against Villa. Eddie Huye has said referees are too reliant on VAR after 3 match errors during the FA Cup win against Aston Villa. Tammy Abraham's opener stood despite being offside. Lucas Digan avoided a red card and a penalty for a clear handball in the area. Unai Emery said referees need VAR. As we continue with more international sports news, Aston Villa, a 1-3 Newcastle Sandro Tonel double helps Magpies secure support in the FA Cup 5th round after Marco Bizotto saw red. Report as Newcastle beat Aston Villa 3-1 to book their place in the 5th round of the FA Cup. Tammy Abraham's opener was allowed to stand despite being offside. And with the international sports news, in the analysis, Scots Premiership title race, Celtic visit Kilmarnock and Rangers host Hearts live on Sky Sports on Sunday. Hearts are 5 points clear of Rangers at the top of the Scots Premiership ahead of Sunday's match at Ibrox. Celtic are the further point back in third with a game in hand and visit Kilmarnock. Watch the double header live. With the sports news, we go to a final where Ronaldo makes goal-scoring return to Al Nassr. And the Portuguese who captained the side marked his return with a goal after 18 minutes in a 2-0 victory over Al Fatah. The 40-year-old had reportedly been unhappy with how the club were being run by the Saudi Arabia's Public Investment Fund, PAIF, that led to the Saudi Pro League saying no individual, however significant, determined decisions beyond their own club. And with this, we go to the matches that were played yesterday on Saturday, 14th February match, where Stuttgart managed to score a 3-1 over Kolnege, and Eintracht Frankfurt managed to score 3-0 over Mönchengladbach. And these matches were played all without any hindrance. With this, we go to the teams that are on the top, or how the table is standing. And in the first position, we have Arsenal having 26 matches played, having 17 wins, 6 draws, 3 losses, and a goal difference of 32 positive, having 57 points. In the second position, we have Manchester City having 26 matches that have been played, having 16 wins, 5 draws, 5 lose, having 30 a positive with 53 points. In the third position, we have Aston Villa having matches 26 played, 15 win, 5 draw, 6 lose, having 10 as a plus with 15 points. In the fourth position, we have Manchester United having 26 matches played, 12 wins, 9 draw, 5 lose, having 10 plus and coming out with 45 points. In the fifth position, we have Chelsea with 26 matches played, 12 wins, 9 draws, 5 lose, having a 10 positive, coming out with 45. Please, our listeners of Radio Yo, we advise you to follow our internet for more sports matches that we have been left out, because we are run out of time. With this makes the end of our news, both local news, international news. Stay tuned every Monday and Tuesday, 11 a.m. with me, Brian Wandela. I wish you the best. Stay tuned for the next programs.